basically, like how it happened, we like going over the show, and when the split happened, I was like, hey, because essentially what happened in December, we had a conversation.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
All right, bang bang. Your boy Eddie's in the building. This is as we're recording this is his dozen week, so we got a lot of different personalities in. So we're gonna try to get a bunch of interviews so we can put them out throughout the summer. And always a delight, Eddie.
It's great. It's great to be here. This is a comfortable couch too.
You like?
It is a nice
It's a
couch.
good one.
This one's less comfortable.
I was gonna say my couch sucks.
Yeah.
It looks a lot less comfortable.
Yeah, and it is.
I'm a couch guy.
Yeah,
Good
dude.
couch.
So I got a couch for my new house. I went all out. I was like, I want the couch. And everybody says to go to Restoration Hardware and get the Dream Couch or something like that, Dream Cloud or something like that. That shit sucks, and you're basic as fuck if you get that. I got it's called Big Sur, like the what's that?
That's like
mountain,
It's
right?
the California like skiing
resort, right?
Not like the
It's
Apple
huge,
software.
bro. It's got like
That's what I was thinking.
like the chase part of the couch, like the L part, is like quadruple wide. Like my kids could like sleep on it, like on as a bed. So anyway, it takes forever for couches to get delivered in general, and now extra with the way the world is. So finally, it's supposed to come the other day.
Did you build a theater? Did you? I know you're talking about it.
No. There's a lot of things I wanted to do, and then when you get a house, it's like that's just not possible, or that's going to cost you a lot, or that's just silly. You know what I mean? But this is just like for the main room, and there's like a fireplace. I got a fat fucking TV that the guy who came to mount it was like, your TV is massive. and the wall is like made out of like it's like made of plaster, and it's not the right type. He was like, he's too big. He's going to fall. But the day the couch was supposed to get delivered, they fucking rip a hole in it with the forklift, picking it up and putting it on the couch. And so they couldn't send like the main piece of the couch. And they're like, we'll send you the next one July 12th.
Oh.
It's like, bro, it's early May.
They're still doing that like
bullshit.
supply chain shit.
I think in general, furniture, even prior to all this, was always like 6 to 8 weeks sort of shit. And then with this,
Dude, every fucking corporation's goddamn. You give them house a cookie.
For real.
Give them one little excuse.
Right?
Again, now it takes 6 months to have
pandemic.
to someone to sit.
bro, how is your fucking like warehouses and delivery still fucked up by the pandemic? How is that possible? What is going on?
I feel bad, but you never want to be the asshole being like, this is bullshit.
This
but
is
they
bullshit.
definitely are at this point. Like, if you're taking long, it's just
Dude, every company's like that.
Supply chain. Supply chain.
Yeah.
People are just saying more people have said supply chain in the last 2 years than in the rest of humankind combined.
Yeah.
I was saying it with the I was at the vet the other day, and there was like it's a sign on the wall that was like, if you yell at us, we'll kill ourselves. I was like, all right. I mean, like it's like we're all enduring hard times, blah blah blah. I was like, not anymore. No, we're not
shut
anymore.
the fuck
Now
up.
I get to yell at you again.
Yeah. Go back to being an asshole.
This
Give me a break.
This is it.
So we've got something to discuss.
What do we discuss?
We got to
There's
discuss.
gonna be a lot of things.
There's a lot of
Real.
things to discuss. We'll start with the state of Chicago, because I've got to answer a fucking million questions about the state of New York and the Chicago move, which has been trumped up to be this like Barstool schism where it's like before and after the Chicago move. But I think kind of what's getting lost is that like there already was a Barstool Chicago.
Yeah.
And you guys were already doing your thing like at a headquarters, at a real office with multiple legitimate shows, and so a lot of people are talking about the people moving to Chicago and the people staying in New York, and not a lot of people are talking about the people already in Chicago.
Yeah.
So where are you guys at as far as that goes? Because I'll be honest, if it was me, I would feel a little bit like we're already doing this. Like, what the fuck,
Yeah, there is, like, of course, there's going to be maybe a little bit of that thought sometimes, right? But at the end of the day, I think like all of us are looking forward to like new toys to play with.
Yeah.
Because it's
By that, do you mean humans? Or?
I was gonna say because around New York that means human toys.
it's humans. Yes. Correct. But you know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. Like, I'm sure you guys love doing KFC Radio together. But I'm sure you love, going to do the skit show with Sass, and I'm sure you love doing, hey, I'm going to go solo. I'm going to go hit the radio room. I'm going to do an hour of the Kevin Clancy show. So there is an aspect where it's like, it's going to be fun to mix it up with people because right now, and like, people want to be like, oh, that was, what do you guys, like, we got you that up. What's going on? It's like, dude, there's 3 of us. Like, it's not a place where, like, shit's going on all the time. And you've said this before, what New York has become now, it is a place where people show up, they use the resources, and they leave. Yep. So we largely are doing that now. But so we've never really had that Barstool vibe where, like, you show up and everyone's, like, buzzing or, like, the top of the day.
Careful what you wish for.
For sure. There's aspects where it's well, I like this. Like, I like doing the show, like, whatever. And then the whole world kind of expands. But you're right.
I get that for sure. You get, like,
What you know what it is? We always say, like, everything becomes work.
Yeah.
Like, we're even talking about it now, trying to redesign this office. And I want, like, a bunch of different shit to do. Yeah. Like, a heavy bag to hit, a fucking pop-a-shot, a poker table, a pool table, a dartboard, all these things, because I think the new wave is going to be just having people come in your office and hang out and get content that way. But after, like, 2 weeks, the people who see those things every day stop using them. People who come in are like, oh, cool, there's a shuffleboard, let's play. If you see the shuffleboard every day, you don't play shuffleboard every day.
Yeah.
But and same thing with the office. You see these people every day, so you don't think, like, let me make a video with them, let me collaborate with them, let me try to make some content with them, let me prank them, let me, just do, like you said, play with the toys. But it's on you to do that, to use it. So, like, when you have the thing or the person or whatever, when you do it day after day after day, eventually you're just like, let me show up, do my thing, and leave.
Exactly.
When that's going to get stale for you, it's going to get stale for the audience, it's going to get stale for everybody. But it is hard to keep it new.
You even get that, like,
it's like a relationship. You got to keep fucking.
Right. Like, right now with, like, because everyone's in town for the dozen and stuff like that. Like, last night I was on Instagram Live with fucking Compton and JP doing, like, shirtless push-ups. I'd fucking kill myself if, like, that was the day.
Well, that's the thing.
If that was every day. Like, it's so fun throwing out. And then there are other times where you're like, I just want to fucking sit here.
That's why, like, as corny as it is, and we've been crushing HR recently. What do you guys think of all the HR stuff going on at Barstool?
I mean, it's a little different for us because we're disassociated out there. But everything we see, it's like, oh, I guess this is happening. But, we're a little able to, like, not, like, pay attention as much.
Sure.
Because we don't really have to see these people.
Yeah, I mean,
I know you guys don't give a fuck either.
I don't give a fuck until I see them and I see the way they look at me and I'm like, oh, you guys take it really seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm making fun of you, but, like, I don't fucking. At the end of the day, I don't care.
Dude,
but it is fucking ridiculous because guess what? You want to know how goddamn corporate this place is now?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like
it is. We were talking about it before we even started. Do you know how long we've been trying to hang a chalkboard up?
Yeah,
3 months.
We just, like, can't.
Just give me the chalkboard. I'll hang it up.
Right. You have to put in, like, a work order and, like, it's just, like, everything. And here's the problem though. When you signed up at Barstool in 09, 10, 11, 12, whatever, you knew you had to have thick skin coming in and that you were going to be content.
yes.
Now, like, if you sign up for HR, you probably should be told, like, hey, there's a chance you'll end up on camera or end up on the subject of a blog
we're
or
not
whatever.
Like, we don't. I don't name them. I don't.
No.
I talk about
sure,
them as a whole. As a
we're never singling people out. We don't put their face on there. We don't put them in the video.
Guess what? I couldn't even name them if I wanted to. Right. I don't know who it is.
Well, that's the bigger point. But
No, you're right
you don't
about that.
come in. You come in now just thinking, like, I have a job at a media company, and it's like we're still a little different. I hope at least we better be, because otherwise we're just like every fucking buddy else.
I mean, we're
just everybody else. Yeah.
not. There are still differences for sure, where and I think it comes from our content bosses being do whatever you want. That still exists. For the most part, you can't
I mean, the Mincy thing would never happen anywhere else in the world.
Correct.
So there are still, like, holy shit, these guys are wild.
Yes.
But then there's a lot of just
it did happen, like, the next day. Mincy started a trend.
Yeah, he did.
That was crazy.
Okay. That guy just got fired last night.
Oh yeah, the A's guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about in Barstool, because it did happen again right away.
Oh, it did happen. Yeah.
And I thought you meant someone.
But you know what I mean, though. If you wanted to start, Johnny Rockets and Kevin, and it was like all Mets and Red Sox baseball, and you wanted to say fuck KFC Radio, you could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
That
that
would be the greatest business move.
I don't know. It probably, honestly, it probably would be. Unfortunately, they'd be like, oh, a baseball show about baseball. We can sell that rather than like, oh, do you want to have fabulous, fantastic conversations with the funniest people in the world? We don't really get it though, so we're not going to sell it.
I had a salesperson ask me like a couple months ago. They're like, all right, so can you explain like what dog walk is? And I'm just like, bro, it's like I've done 1,000 episodes.
Dude.
Like,
They asked us recently
just
if we
listen
still
once.
do voicemails.
Yeah. Do you still do voicemails?
yeah. Oh, they did.
It's like they don't know a single. I don't need you to be. I think we actually should have experts. I think we should have dedicated salespeople. We talked about that 1,000 times here and it never happens. But I understand that's difficult because there's 100 different shows. That would be 100 different salespeople. That's a lot of commission. That's a lot of salary. So I get it can't be dedicated.
Yeah.
But maybe familiarize yourself a little bit. Maybe listen to like a couple episodes. Maybe you sell.
Yeah.
You sell 3. You sell 3. You sell 3. Like I don't know. Because the
Yeah.
way it is now, it's just like. I think salespeople go like, I'm gonna go sell part of my take, $1 million worth of game, Brianna and Dave, and that's it. You know?
And that's the thing too is what I was gonna say, and it is what it is. It's not a complaint, but it's just true. And you say like people coming over, it's like at the end of the day, like they really only care about a couple of top brands.
Totally.
Like, it's just fact. You know,
and
it's like
I get that, but I don't like because there just needs to be a different system then where it's like. If every salesperson is just like, I'm going to get mine off of these 4 brands, then there's really no reason for us to be here, you know? Like, if you just said, like, instead of doing that, like, you get all of the commission from over here, I think they would probably make more money. I really do.
oh well, it's just it makes it hard to sit in the end of the year meetings and they're like, did you know we get like 80-something% of our dollars come from these 5 brands? It's like, well. I wonder why.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like that's
and don't get me wrong, like they're also fucking monsters, and they are
sure.
pulling in the most views and all that shit. But it's
For
like
sure.
everything is angled towards them and towards gambling and towards that,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of like, okay, well,
Yeah.
Have
yeah.
you guys thought about that? Because you guys do a little gambling, but you don't. You're not like I wouldn't say you're super gambling.
Yeah. No,
Right?
I mean we
super gambly.
Super gambling, yeah.
Because obviously there are people who do gambling, there are people who do other kinds of content, and you guys kind of do. You guys actually, I would say, do the best bridge.
like doing half and half.
A little like you're like, all right, we do like regular stuff and also we
Yes,
have our bets.
which I like because we got one show that's a little more sportsy, and then we got one that's whatever. It's a free for all. So
Yeah.
I do like that, but I don't even say it's like the gambling stuff. Like all right, the streams are sold, but besides that, like there's not like really like gambling. Like Pick Central, I think they got some ads once in a while, but there's nothing like crazy selling if you're on the gambling side. Totally, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I know there's probably a lot of money in it. I can't stand live streams anymore. Doing them are the
No.
worst. I think they're just the worst. I think they're like the fun that it used to be is like gone, and it's just the worst. It's
Like, you're saying, like a gambling, like a electric chair.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
like the OG electric chairs, I think were like always important with people you know, people you care about. And now it's like, you know, someone freaking out over like their $50 over that missed or something like that, and or a Frank freak out or whatever. And it's just like, I mean, I guess people watch them and the money is still there. So like, God bless you, keep doing it. I honestly, like if you told me like, you know, we could make this many more dollars at KFC Radio right now if you did them, but you had to like live stream all the time with all these people, I really think I'd say no. I can't. I mean, I just can't muster up the last one I did was the last straw where it was like the game 3 of that play-in series. And I just left the stream and came in here, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
I agree with you. I just think they could be
it also
altered.
used to be about the not your bet.
Yeah,
I don't care
yeah.
about you losing a bet. I care about knowing that you watched this team for like 30 years
Yeah.
and you're finally happy, and now you're going to get crushed. I get that. I
Yes.
understand that sort of shit.
Yes.
Or Frankie Borelli like kissing his dad and shit like that.
Yeah.
That stuff's cool. But when there's fucking 60 guys who are just gambling, I'm like, this doesn't.
It could be altered, I think, right? Because we've done the whole like wide shot, a bunch of guys on a couch, but I do sometimes like watching like Rogan does, like they just watch UFC and they
Watch-alongs.
bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's
But
kind of
that,
a podcast
think,
while they
yes,
watch.
A watch along companion show,
Yes.
second screen, blah blah blah, is like people putting an effort into
Yes,
a show.
yes.
Sitting there, and I'm talking about doing it. Like if there's audience members that are like, I made the same bet as these guys, and I'm sweating along with them, so I like that. by all means, watch
Yeah.
it. I'm talking about being in them. I'm like, if you want to have a conversation about what's going on right now, and we can kind of talk a little bit, but then it becomes like, dude, shut up, my fucking bet's on the line. It's like, okay,
Correct.
Just,
but like a Cubs play the Mets today. If we were watching the game right now
Totally.
and we were just having this conversation, it's like, oh, Alonso went deep. Like,
Yep.
oh, he's been, good. And
Totally.
it's there is a spot to do it, but we just do it kind of weird.
also, that it's kind of a macro thing, macrocosm for all of Barstool of like, it's what you're talking about is like, let's collaborate and cooperate and talk about shit together, and instead it's just like, I got mine, I'm gonna do me, and I think there needs to be some. I mean, I've said this a million times, so I know people have heard it, but it's weird. As much as Barstool was like every man for himself, it was always like doing shit together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if within that video, within that contest or whatever, we were against each other, there was still like content happening together. Whereas now it just seems like siloed off in different brands or whatever. But
Gametime, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, created by fans for fans. Gametime is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. Must-see summer event was Taylor Swift. Anybody who was trying to get in the door was using Gametime, and they were finding the lowest price tickets possible. Now, it doesn't mean that wasn't going to cost you like $10,000, but everywhere else was costing you more than that because Gametime guarantees the lowest prices possible. It's all possible with the Gametime app, getting last-minute price drops that can be found for the seats that you thought you could never buy. The purchase process takes just 2 taps and 10 seconds, and once you buy your tickets, they're delivered right to your phone. No printer needed. The app also allows you to easily share tickets with friends via text so you can go to the game seamlessly. Skip the hassle and enjoy the moment. Download the Gametime app or go to the website, enter your email, and redeem code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
so you guys are leaving your current office and going to a bigger office, or
Yes, we're all going to a bigger office.
I heard
It's
this thing is like a fucking
dude.
airplane hangar. Like
dude,
it's
like
huge.
40,000 square
What
feet.
is this square feet? Do you know? Because you could have told me this is 30,000 square feet, and I would have believed you.
So it's
Is this like
I
10
have no idea. I would have guessed, I would have guessed close to that.
to 10?
Oh,
Or to
I
30?
would have guessed like 30.
Because everyone's acting like Chicago like dwarfs this in size.
yeah, it's definitely bigger than.
So it
probably-
must be like
It's probably bigger than both floors.
Rico was saying like it's like ceilings like 100 feet tall and like
Yes.
and there's no hallways and shit. It's just like open.
very much a warehouse.
So it's like
They-
a big box.
Yeah, when All-Star Weekend was there for the NBA in 2020, I think Nike used it as a showcase for like high
Yeah,
school
so
kids. So
that
there was a
thing's,
full
like,
basketball
fucking
court
massive.
there and shit. So
Bro, I thought my first apartment in New York was 1,100 square feet. And I would have guessed this is 30 of my apartments. But I don't know how math works. So I don't know.
square feet,
I don't know if
square
that-
feet. Forget about it.
Yeah, no, honestly, dude, forget about it. Because I do think it includes ceilings and like airspace as well as footage on the floor and all that. I think I don't know.
No,
But
I think that would be cubic feet.
cubic feet is including the
Yeah.
So anyway, so you're moving to that big monstrosity,
Yeah.
but you're still gonna just do your same shit and just hopefully with mixing people in or
Yeah,
whatever.
but, we're
like you
gonna-
don't have any new shows planned with people coming or anything like that.
Well, you kind of got to test the water, right? You
Yeah.
got to see what everyone wants to do, and like you said, if there's a day to have a fucking push-up contest with Will Compton, that shit just kind of comes, you
Yeah.
know. And we'll see how it goes because we've just never had that opportunity with the toys.
Who are you least looking forward to moving in?
That's a good question. So I'm very, I'm I love Chicago. So it's an easy city to dump on. And listen, as someone I've never dumped on New York, and I know you don't give a fuck. You're the number one dumper. But White Sox Dave has done his fair share of dumping on this city. So like, if people are kind of dumping it, that's going to kind of rub me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I won't like that.
I can see that for
The
sure.
big dumper.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
you guys are so funny about the city.
Yeah.
You guys, it's like a family member. It's like
it is, yeah.
but it's like it's just a city, man.
I get that, but it's I don't know.
You don't.
See, I think a lot of people have that. I think no
Yeah,
matter where, like,
I guess I'm in the minority on that.
Like-
I don't get it.
dude, like I'll watch a movie filmed in Massachusetts, and I'm not the most like Massachusetts guy, but I'll watch a movie filmed in Massachusetts. I'm like, that's a state car.
You know
That's
what
a
the
state
thing
car.
is?
Like I recognize like
That's I think that's exactly what it is. Like every movie's in New York.
yeah.
Like because New York is kind of the epicenter of everything. When you grow up here,
Yes.
you're just used to that, you don't have like there's no reason to like defend New York because it's New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's already kind of accepted that it's like the financial capital and the biggest in Times Square and
Correct.
the the lot like all that shit just already happens. So this sounds like I'm arguing for my city, but it's like we were already like number one. We're already the top. It's like there's no reason to. Who cares if people from Boston or Chicago are trying to like talk shit about New York? Like they'll be here one day. That sort of thing.
I always said again, I'm someone who's not from New York, but I like New York very much. And when people are like, you like it here? I'm like, yeah. There are a lot of lists, and it's number one on all of them. Like,
Well, like what?
I'm not the only person who likes it.
As much as I make fun of it, I'll never leave it. It's similar to Barstool. It's like I'll fucking trash on it, and there are things that I hate about it, but like I'm here for a reason, you know.
For sure, and I guess it's because it's weird. It is a big city, but it still does have a small town feel. And I know that sounds
Chicago or New York?
Yeah, no, Chicago does. I would say. You know,
Chicago, New York actually. As much as people would not think that, when you live in New York, you stay in your neighborhood and that's it.
Yeah.
So
you
like
fucking gotta know.
there are parts of the city I've never been to.
Yeah.
Like never been to.
100%.
Well, you
You know,
spent most of
and
the
never
time in
will, probably.
City Island, right?
Yeah, but that's like that. You know.
But I get that. But listen, if something cool happened there, or if someone, you
Oh
would
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
rep
So
that.
that is what I was gonna
Yes.
say is neighborhoods become city vibe. Like people from
Exactly.
Brooklyn rep Brooklyn. People from the Bronx rep the Bronx. It's a borough thing. Because honestly, the boroughs are the size of cities. Like Brooklyn's like the 5th biggest city in the country. If it was a city, it's fucking nuts. So I do get that a little bit, but it is funny when.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that whole garage thing was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, guys hanging in garages is just a Chicago thing.
I wasn't me, but I mean, it is. But it is kind of a thing because a lot of the, where you grow up in the northwest side of the houses are just small, so you just need more room, and that's
Well,
just
yeah.
kinda where- That's just,
but other people have Chicago.
I get it. No, I get it. I'm not arguing with that. But I'm just saying. I'm just giving you reasoning. That's all I'm doing.
Are you feeling a little bit like I feel like you were kind of the leader of Chicago? Are you feeling a little bit like that's going to go away?
I mean, sure, definitely. I mean, Dan's too at the company, so it's like it's gonna naturally. That's just how it happens.
Yeah.
If the president
Are
moved
you
to Texas,
are you upset about that, or does that make it?
Does that happen a lot in sports where like someone trades for? I know like captains get traded, but do they become the captain?
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like like LeBron and Wade or something when he went to the Heat. Then it was like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
I when I think
Yeah.
sports, I think in terms of hockey. I'm thinking like taking the C off.
Yeah,
and putting
yeah.
a new person.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's probably not as extreme as that, but it's like this is my
Charlie
team
Conway.
now,
Happened to Charlie Conway.
Yeah, here you go.
Thanks.
Charlie Conway. Are you? Is that? That could potentially be a good thing. Like, are you happy about that, or did you like your role as kind of like, if there was like a decision to be made, or if I needed something from Chicago, or if I don't know, if we needed a representative, or whatever, it was Eddie.
No, but here's the thing, though. It's kind of always been that way too.
Yeah.
Like we've always shared the Bears. We've always shared we've always shared the Cubs, the Blackhawks. Whatever. If there was a big something that happened, a reaction like that was
No,
going on
I'm not
Maine.
saying that. I'm saying more like work wise, logistics, like employee and like your job wise, like. You guys are all great. I'm just saying, if I needed something, I don't think I would hit up Chief first. I think I would hit up Eddie first.
Yeah, for sure.
And now, that kind of responsibility probably dissipates a little bit.
It's definitely gonna be weird. But I also am still thinking of as like if you need something from our brand, like I would still be the go-to guy. You know what I mean? So
I also think that you guys will still be the authentic Chicago guys that
for sure.
were
And
boots
I
on the
hope,
ground all these years.
Yeah, and I hope to have that conversation with Dan at some point because I don't just truth be told, how long are these people going to stay?
Yeah.
Are they lifelong Chicagoans? I don't know. Like, hey, I'm going to be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I'm
so
here for the long
I don't
haul.
know.
Yeah. Have you talked with him much at all?
No, not much. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I feel like that is a good.
When is everyone moving?
It's already happened. Fasoli's here last week.
That's what I saw. That I saw
Yeah.
I think I talked to Hank.
That's a game changer.
Hank is he's going in June. I think. I thought you guys were in August. I didn't realize it was happening now.
Yeah,
I think there's
Hank
two
June.
waves, kind of. I think there's like a early June, like early summer, and then a September. I think it's like a
Spiders
the rest
coming
going.
June. Yeah, I think like Nick and them are coming in August. So it's just like they're just
Trickling
going to trickle in. Yeah.
When's the office?
They say September 1, but we checked it out recently and there was nothing done yet.
You know what?
so-
I've said this a million
Supply
times.
chain,
I oddly enough, every time there's an office situation, I do the same thing. I'm like, this is like a fucking war zone, and we're talking about New York City or Chicago construction, which is like not the fastest thing in the world, and they usually nail it. They usually get it like to the day.
Yeah.
So I don't know if.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. They just probably won't have all like the bells and whistles up. That's normal though, right?
Right. Yeah.
But
You start to add that kind of stuff in.
Exactly. But no, I mean, hey, like Dan, he's always been open. Like, I want to go back, and you know, for a while I was like, oh fuck, maybe he will never come back, and then he's coming back. And like I said to you before, it's kind of like you watch like a friend from high school go to college, and it's like, ah, fuck, like, you know what I mean? And then like he's like, oh,
he's
shit,
back.
he's coming back. So
Did you ever have ideas or thoughts of coming here?
I'll be honest. I would love for you guys to swap. I think you guys would
Just-
fit in
just
in
come
what we're
here?
doing, what we're gonna do in New York. Not obviously you guys are Chicago guys, so you need that element. But the rest of your content, I think, fits here really well.
yeah, no, I think we would definitely mix it in. Like, I mean, Dave is 1 in a million. You know, White Sox Dave is just he's
unbelievable.
he really is. Like, when you talk about
You
those,
fucked him on this blue jeans thing, dude.
no,
He spoke like a mom from like 40 years ago. I don't know why he said that, but they were doing some sort of clothes draft, and he said blue jeans, and they took it to mean like light blue jeans rather than just like jeans. That's
You
you're
have
just
to
fucking
specify.
Was he
You're
from
just
Russia?
fucking him.
I said to be.
I mean, it's a weird way to talk.
You have blue jean?
I said to be as specific as possible.
But so you took it to mean like this, like
Yeah,
light blue,
yeah, exactly.
and you fucked him on like just
Oh,
regular
yeah.
jeans.
Oh, yeah, it's
you
Dave.
fucked him. That's just like we're just gonna fuck White Sox Dave again. That's great.
and because it's like, oh, he didn't. So like,
I saw tweets today like the integrity of the draft has been ruined. You guys know what he meant.
oh yeah, people are really mad. Yeah, people are pissed. Which I love.
Those people are so important.
They are. You need them for shows. For regular shows, I hate those people. For shows that were being silly and being stupid, you need people to freak out about cheating on the dozen. You need people to freak out about draft integrity. Otherwise, what are we doing?
But like when I see, I'm like, oh no, I don't care. It's fine. like he got fucked.
Oh yeah, when they're arguing for you, it's like whatever.
No,
dude.
it was more
funnier
fun
this
that way.
Yes, totally,
Exactly, and it's
totally.
like I think someone else wanted the dark blue jeans. So like, if you could find an angle for yourself, that was a true angle. So,
all right, what's up with family therapy, man?
This summer, HelloFresh is here to take the work out of eating well. Reach your goals with delicious calorie smart and protein smart lunch and dinner options, plus new vegan recipes too. Get farm to table quality with every HelloFresh box. HelloFresh's seasonal ingredients are picked at peak ripeness and travel from the farm to your doorstep in less than 7 days for fresh flavor in every bite. This summer, spend less time meal planning and meal prepping with HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients and make it easy to get cooking quick. No matter what your lifestyle, you'll find fresh, delicious recipes on HelloFresh's menu, like pescatarian and veggie. You can even swap in proteins and sides to make a recipe just how you like it. Go to HelloFresh.com/KFC16. Use code KFC16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/KFC16 and use code KFC16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping.
We're going through. We're on the
Family
rocks right now in
therapy,
Chicago. There's some shit going on, and it's being handled unlike anything that's ever been handled at Barstool. I think it's kind of weird. We're in this like limbo where you guys addressed it, but it's not being addressed. Carl then put out a 7-minute video that was one of the wackiest things I've ever seen. I didn't know what was going on there, and then there was really no response. There was no response to your guys talking about it, and then no response to his attempt to respond. But to sum it up for people who don't know, it seems like the foursome of you, Carl, Chief, and White Sox Dave, there's been issues for a while with the three of you and Carl.
yeah.
And I think people in-house would know that there was always something brewing there. I don't think the fans really knew. Did the fans know? Would like Reddit people know? And like
I would
the
say-
real losers know? Like the people who are like really.
If you were
know?
Barstool Chicago diehard, you knew. You know what I mean? If you were like casual, you're like, that feels a little weird. If you just like checked in and out, probably not.
And then it came to a head. Like a couple weeks ago or a week ago, you guys decided.
Yeah. Just
What was the impetus to be like we're putting it out there?
It was a couple things. There were, we had received. Because listen, it's all out there. So we received a DM like a couple months ago
Right.
about him like he was DMing like random people, and we're like, all right, like brush it off, like not enough yet, like you know what I mean? Because like, unfortunately, we did kind of know that this is probably inevitably going to happen.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, you had already kind of like fractured a little bit.
We did, but
it was
like,
under the guise kind of like, I'm going to go do baseball and we're going to do our thing. But that was all underneath.
Like,
that was a lot of issues.
Like you guys know, like the
Totally.
human element, like you know, it's just like you don't want to like bury something. Like that's not.
No. Well, some
Sure.
we don't. There are some people who do.
Sure, yeah, there are some people. And like I did not want to do that. I had no interest in doing that. And some people say, why not? Like obviously what you said, if what you say is true, like he deserved it. But it's like, yeah, but it's still like
That's the difference between people who. The difference between you and him. You know what I mean? Like the difference between people who kind of sometimes act shitty and people who don't. It's like I'm not gonna act shitty because someone else acts shitty, because it's like the two wrongs will make a right sort of thing.
I was texting with Chief after you guys put out your mid-show episode, and I was like, I said it's got to feel good to, because you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like you never want to do it, but it's also like
Lingering
when
over
someone
you.
tees it up for you. We're like, well, I'm in the right, so I guess I'll just knock this out of the park while I'm here.
Yeah, that feels good.
The
when you that's the good side of waiting as long as you wait, because you got all the backup you need. You got receipts, you got instances where you can explain, you got evidence, all that shit. Where it's like, we don't want to do this, but if we're gonna do it and you're gonna question me on it or push back on it, I can tell you,
But it is the worst part of working here is, like, I mean, 100% of the shit I ever do here, like, I'm just fucking around. I don't want to have like a real debate about, but that's just what happens when you work in an office and when you work closely with people. Like, it does get.
Well, this place is unique in that, like, any office you work in, there's going to be office drama, and then you throw in cameras, you throw in basically like Hollywood now. We're talking about, we're in the entertainment business, and there's going to be backstabbing and splitting throats and stepping on people, and then you throw in this dynamic of all the fans think that we're all best friends. Yeah, and it's like, why in the world would that be true? Why would you think that we're all best friends? No,
I get that, bro. When I found out, I remember the first time my dad told me that, like, early Red Sox days, like,
players didn't get along.
It was, I think it's a phrase that's used with a million different teams, but it's like 30 players, 30 cabs. Yeah, and I was like, they all don't go party after the game. Mm-hmm. What the fuck are you talking about?
But that's what I mean. Like,
granted, I was very young at the time.
That's the thing. I think if you like. I guess you have to remember that people consume Barstool like for fun, and there's the weirdos who are on like Reddit who know all this shit. But then there are the people who would just be like, "Those guys do a show together. Of course they're friends. Why would they do a show if they're not friends?" But then if you do take a minute to just like think about the way every fucking radio duo has ever broken up, every band breaks up,
that even surprised me. Like later in life, when it was when Mike and Mike broke up. Yep. And then there was like the rumor that they didn't talk unless they were on air. And I was like, what the fuck? That's insane. And you and I don't only talk on air, but we have like most of our real conversations on air.
Yeah. But I mean, those guys, I heard rumors that like with Mike and Dog, that there would be times where like it would be like Mike talks on air. Like I talk, then you talk. I talk. Like they wouldn't even cross talk at some point.
They do the Vin Diesel,
which is
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
We film
and maybe that's like maybe that's not true. I don't know for sure. But
can I just say something real quick? Sorry, I'm so sore.
Yeah, Charlie horse?
from those push-ups.
Like
I bet you're too old to be doing that shit.
It's crazy. Like, it's like muscles. I don't like. It's like up here.
Bro, push-ups are impossible.
I'm just trying to find my zen, and it just hurts so bad.
Oh yeah, that's on you. You're too old to be doing push-ups and shit.
That hurts. That hurts a lot.
So you put it out there. Carl had like physically. That's the thing that jumps out at me. There was like I think at some point Dave said like 10 years he's been like physically attacking him over the course of 10 years. There was a couple instances.
I think there were a couple instances.
Because that to me, I think like you guys are. A lot of Barstool, I think the story of Barstool, if you ever one day really tell the full story, is there are a lot of people here who have very long fuses, who really put up with a lot of shit when they could have said a lot of shit about a lot of people. Like there's a lot of times where I'm like, boy, I could just like say some things, but I don't. Yeah. And I think you guys, but I think a breaking point would be for if somebody like if that person physically ever crossed the line, and then did it multiple times, I would air that motherfucker out.
Yeah.
I think I as someone who likes to get violent, I'm gonna defend Carl.
You would never.
No, I would.
In a million years, you would
I
never.
only beat up people who consent. Not beat up, but I only wrestle.
Yeah.
My violence is consensual.
Imagine sorry that's part of the new New York office. Like, if I want to wrestle, you got to wrestle.
You should start a wrestling team, though. It's not that you have to wrestle.
Yeah, as soon as
but if
KB gets out of here, I'll start wrestling.
Singlet time. Strap him on. Go to the middle.
So he made his response video that
Yeah.
was like 7-minute filibuster.
Yeah.
I love that video.
It was
I gotta
amazing.
say, it was the best video I've ever seen.
I mean, it was
That was the
so
best video
weird.
since Vince said the N-word.
It was borderline like a manic episode. I didn't know what he was saying. But he forgave you guys.
He did.
You're forgiven.
He did,
You
yeah.
guys are all forgiven. But there was really nothing of substance there. Have you guys responded to that thing either publicly or privately?
No.
Are you gonna?
No, I
Or
don't
just
think we will.
let it lie?
There's nothing to address in our minds. I think the truth is out there, and
X-Files over here.
Yeah, I mean, but like, you know what I mean. And that's
But like,
just-
you got to understand from a fan point of view, it's not like this has not really been hashed out or discussed. You know what I mean? It's like
this actually
like-
is like kind of my perfect, because I knew some things, I'd heard some things, and but I'm obviously not super aware.
Yeah.
So like I'm perfectly in the middle right now of a coworker who completely understands that you're like, I just want to fucking be done with this, and a fan who's like, dude, what?
Tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like this is kind of my first time, because even stuff that happens here in this office, I know it all. So like I'm not like itching
sure.
to be like, what else happened? Like I know everything that happened here.
Right,
If something
right.
happened. But like you guys are obviously separated, so I'm like,
And also,
a little
you-
bit. I get the sense because there's shit that I've had
Yes.
or would have to, and I'm like, I'd rather just fucking not do that.
But you got to understand there
But-
are fans who are like, you work here and like some people, don't like some people, do consume some content, don't consume some content. So you see some shit, you're like, whatever. There are people who are probably like, this was my like everyday entertainment, and now all of a sudden, within like these 2 videos, everything's gone. That's done, and it's like, but without really ever having. I said to start this, it was handled differently than any other Barstool drama, because usually you're on the Dave Portnoy show, you're pulled into radio.
Yep.
Or it's like a fucking slobber knocker drag out fight of some regard. This is just more like, well, they did it. It's out there, but it's like lingering. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, being on an island, we've really been able to conduct our business how we want.
Right,
Like,
right.
we've had full control of the remote. So, and especially now, there is no real show to hash it out on anymore because Dave doesn't do his podcast. But it's it's one of those things where at least like people had a couple months of us doing content separately, like not really knowing anything. I guess, even though like I said,
He was still in the drafts though, right?
No.
No?
It was fully
done?
split. They did the dozen, but that was
Right,
That was
okay.
it.
That was
I thought
I
he was still
remember
drafted.
that. I think that was kind of my first inkling. Maybe it was a little before, but that week we spent out there last summer.
Yeah.
Where I remember I was in the office. I forget where I came from. I might have come from like a Chicklets Cup thing or something like that, but I came separate from you guys. And that's why I got to the office first. And I was just like,
Oh boy.
I was like, this is a weird vibe. in here.
I don't know. You could
what's
cut that
happening.
with a knife, dude.
Yeah.
That was a weird. That was like right before churning Barstool, New York, tension in the air.
Yeah.
Like before we all were like, all right, whatever. Like it worked, so we can be friends again.
Yeah.
Where the 3 of us, me, Dan, and Dave, were just like, that was a weird vibe out there.
Yeah, and like the truth is,
Did it get better once you separated?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you could feel the difference there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's the willingness to do stuff just became open again. Like there were so many things that would get stopped at the door because it's like, oh no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do this with X. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even
so-
just doing something you all want to do.
Nope. Yeah,
Like we said,
doesn't
like
matter.
everything feels like work eventually. And there are some days where like I don't feel like recording, but it seems like that would be every day. We're like, I don't want to fucking talk.
Dude,
to
doing this
anybody.
shit, working in an office with somebody you don't like is tough. Doing like content,
Yeah,
putting
having
on
to do a
smiley
live
face,
show in
doing
front of,
fucking jokes and shit with somebody like.
Yeah.
That's why I said there's a lot of people with a lot of like a long fuse who are really like pretty selfless, who all that shit. Where it's like we could really like you deserve credit for that,
Yeah, and I guess that's where Barstool does kind of have us over a barrel in a sense, because like if the show's sold, then it's like, fuck, I'm not going to give up my, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
I'm not,
well,
so-
cash rules, baby. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and then it's.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, we are in Hollywood, and if you think about like, there are fucking billion-dollar movie budgets that fall apart because like a co-star is like,
Yeah.
I'm out. I don't want to do this. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and we just usually put our heads down and get through it. And then you reach some sort of breaking point, or usually I think before things have blown up in other instances, people move off of shows, they change the show, they transfer this or that, and it's like before the blow up. And this, you guys just had to like ride it into the ground. But so he in his video, the one thing he did clearly say was baseless accusations. So he's just saying you guys are lying.
Yes, and I mean, what specifically? So what do we accuse him of doing? Obviously, so
That's why his video is weird. Not if you're gonna say it's baseless accusations, you almost have to address what the accusations are and how they're not true. But so he's just like, this is all not true. We didn't fight. I wasn't like backstabbing. I wasn't this. I wasn't that. But without saying so.
Yeah, I mean it's just not. It's not the case. Like I don't. There's.
Yeah, I mean it's. I mean he's Costanzaing this.
Yeah, and like
he's got 2 solariums. He's
maybe
we're going to Hamptons.
Maybe the situations are different in his perspective.
Yeah.
Like that could be it.
Sure, there's 2 sides, but I mean,
sure.
I guess usually when there's like 3 people and seemingly heaps
3
of evidence
on a whole office. Like
Right.
the behind the
Producers
there's a
and
lot.
all
There's
that.
a lot of and like I said,
I'll tell you what, this reminds me a lot of the Chicago 7. That's what I think. I think there's a lot of fingers being pointed in one direction, and maybe it's not right.
yeah, and it's 10 years is a long time. Man.
Dude, I didn't realize it's 10. Like
It's a long
That's
time.
a career worth of putting up
Yeah,
with,
five really elbow to elbow, but 5 of like, watch party here and with this, that, there,
an instant here, an
yeah,
instant there.
but 5 years around the same set of people is a long time.
Yeah.
Or 10 years, sorry, but
So is that the last it'll be? You think?
I don't know. I truthfully, like there was like clearly there was like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna sit there and tell stories for 5 hours? Like
Right.
what? Like if
The fans are like, yes.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was saying
sure.
that's the same exact thing as I was describing earlier, where like when I was texting with Chief afterwards, I was like, I loved how like right away you were just like, anyway, Dave, you fucking lost your wallet this weekend. I was like,
Yeah.
As a Barstool employee, I was like, that's funny. Like that's how I do it. And then as a fan, I was like, come on, give me more.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's why I basically, like how it happened, we like going over the show, and when the split happened, I was like, hey, because essentially what happened in December, we had a conversation. We had it, we got these brand, what are they called? Like the brand strategy team.
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to them?
Probably.
Some made up name, but like that
So
they try to
they're
sound
going
important,
over
but-
these things. They're like, hey, let's try this, let's try that. Like, we'd love for your numbers to grow more. Like they're a little down here, and they're like, and I'm just sitting there, and like I
There's
looked
one
up.
way to do this.
I looked up, and 2 guys can't even look at one guy, and I'm like, hey, I'm just like, hey. We could change this segment. We could change this cadence. We could do this. We could do that. But at the end of the day, we're not going to get through that door with this cast. Like
dynamic.
it's just
Yeah,
not going to
yeah,
happen. It's just
yeah.
not going to happen. You could
Right.
change everything, but the crux of the issue will always remain, and it's that nobody gets along.
Yeah.
And so that's
nobody gets along with one person.
Correct.
There's
Yes.
you guys all get along great. I
Yes,
think, right?
exactly.
The
The
rest-
crux of the issue is we can't can't get along with you. And I was like, so I think the best course of action is to make a split, And I was like, hey, like
It's a good move by you. That's a leadership move. It sucks to be the one to finally
gonna
go,
say, that's a fucking
bro. But it's like you seize that moment because that is the moment
Yeah.
where it's like, we've kind of had not a similar situation, but just like we're thinking about tweaking this and that, and it's like there's like wholesale things that need to happen
Yeah.
before we even start worrying about the
For
little
sure.
itty bitty shit,
But Kevin, it was so tiresome, man. Like it's
Yeah.
so because I was pretty good at once the mics went on. Like,
Totally.
let's have a show.
Yep.
And I don't fault Dave and Chief for like I can't get past it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can't fault them for that.
I think what we do is more rare.
Yeah.
Like most people could not and should
Exactly.
not and would and you shouldn't expect them.
Yeah, and I couldn't fault them because it's like, all right, I'm not going to tell you how to feel about how you were treated and how whatever. And like, don't get me wrong, like we've gone at it. I've one-on-one, we've gone at it before too. But I was kind of able to be like, and he was so. he was so instrumental, pivotal in the snake drafts taking off, and like he could do content, you know. And I was really the only one where I was just kind of I was the guy kind of bridging it, and I was just like I can't like tie myself to this anymore if it's going to be so, you know, such a teeter.
I do remember a conversation where I was like, you know, what are you guys going to do? I think I was talking to Chief about it. I don't remember who it was, but they were like, it's, you know, like we. Content wise, like you gotta have them, and I was kind of like, I don't know about that. Like I think you have to be an exceptional level talent to be that to continue to do content when it's that much of a weight on everybody else.
Yeah, when it's that
and I don't know if any of you are on the level or any of us.
Sure,
that's like, you know, like Wit would have to put up with Biz and vice versa, like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like anybody else is anybody else is like
that's
you
Dave,
know.
You know what I mean? No, I love Dave. You know, but you know, Dave is his challenges. But yeah, so that I got to that point, and I was like, hey, like, and I basically stood up. I said that, and then everyone's kind of like, okay, so this is what we want to do. And I was like, yeah, but I was like, it doesn't have to be this big salacious thing. Like, let's try to make it happen. Let's try to like, you know, let's try to like do this and like save face and whatever. And we did that.
You're a good man for that. Because also, you know, I mean, it's a chance to like do a little bit of a like a victory lap, or I told you so. It's a chance to get views. It's a chance to get all your fucking. All that pent up, like I told you, or like I hid this for you, and I like fuck you out. But to still want to do it like quiet is pretty admirable.
Yeah, and that's when Friday morning when all that shit broke, and it was, you know, like wildfire. I walked in, Chief's my guy. I was like, hey, like you got the ball, like whatever you want to do, I'm following. Like I'm in. I'm with you.
Was he like the center of it? Like
well, yeah, because he was the one. The DMs were coming after him.
About him.
Yeah, like, and I was like, hey, I'm not, you know, I'm following your lead. Whatever you want to do, like, I support you. So that.
I remember early on some stoolies with DM, and you know when it was like me versus Dave, they would like have my back, and I'd have a conversation, and I remember being like, this would look bad. This looks like I'm talking about like the fucking combine or the punt catching, and it's me versus him, and this person's like supporting me. So I'm like, yeah, like fuck that, fuck Dave, like thank you for having my back and forth. And I was like, but wait a minute, I'm talking to a total stranger. And I'm just kind of like venting, and it doesn't. In my head, the way this is going doesn't look bad. But if you were to just look at those, if someone sent that and said, look what he's saying about Dave on his back. I could see it being like, you know, wait a minute, fuck you, you know? So I was like, I'm not talking about anybody anymore with anybody who I don't even fucking know. The DM thing is weird because, like, you want to connect with fans, and some people are, like, intense and like, want to connect like that, and those are your diehards. But it's like, bro, I don't even fucking know you.
Yeah,
man.
and I'm sure it's been tough for him not to kind of sell it either, even though the other side made him look, you know, like he just went off and did his own thing. I'm sure it's been tough for him not to kind of sit back and be, and that was really like we sat there and you know when it came to changing the name from like we liked the name Redline Radio, but I stepped back. I was like, hey guys, like I know there's a big rift and we don't like him, but he did have a name. He did have a hand in starting that name. Like it would make me absolutely sick. If I like lost my show and I could see, so I was like, smart. And that was also that's something that hasn't been discussed.
Ashton Kutcher ran with that ball too, you know.
But that's my.
But again, I mean, you guys are going above and beyond to accommodate as much as you can, because it does sound like you're in the right. It does sound like you could, you know, do all of these things if you wanted to. Once you start crossing the line of like physically attacking people, yelling at fans, all that shit, like I don't think you really have a leg to stand on. You could have, I think, taken the show. You could have dunked on. You could have done all that, and the fact that you're kind of holding back is, you know.
You're right, and maybe it's
about as nice as you can handle.
Yeah, maybe it was too, I don't know, too courteous of me and, you know, of us, but
taking the high road's probably always.
Yeah,
maybe there's a part of you feeling right now like, oh, I wish I could just fucking, but
it's
and it doesn't even seem that way right now. And I think as time goes on, it'll only feel less. Like I think you'll be happy that you just weren't. You can lay your head at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like even addressing it again, it was not. under the intent of like let's fucking bear. It was just like, hey, we're just gonna tell the truth.
Yeah, right.
Right.
We're just gonna.
Again, that's what he was saying
yeah,
about.
we're just gonna tell you.
It's not he said, she
You
said.
want to
It's
open
like-
the door?
It's like
I'll
the truth
fucking
he said.
Correct.
Very slowly walk through it
Yes.
with my chest out.
Yeah.
But I was good sitting on separate sides.
Totally.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so that's why it's like, all right, you made your bed. Now, you
What do you
kinda
think
gotta lie
happens
in it.
now?
What do I think
I mean,
happens?
I
Does he
can't-
come to the new office?
Well, that's that. You want to know the fucking crazy part about it? And like I said, I have always kind of been like, it's about the content. It's about the content. If it's good, let's just kind of, whatever. And so he was back. We recorded a snake draft the day before with
Wow.
him. Yes.
No.
Yes. And Chief and Dave weren't thrilled. And I was like, hey, like, I'll own it, like, whatever. I was like, but in my brain, like, I'm trying to, we're trying to move forward. Like,
Yeah.
we're trying to get numbers. We're trying to just put out good shit. And I was like, that's my bad. I probably should have consulted you guys beforehand. And then sure enough, the next day this breaks. I was like, well, that's not fucking airing. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not, like, he's not,
No, you're not gonna
getting
put up,
yeah,
prop him up
benefit.
anymore.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point to do that. So.
With Father's Day right around the corner, the Father's Day experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to put a smile on the big guy's face this summer with hand-selected packages. Packages can include fork, tender, bacon-wrapped filet mignons, or other gourmet grillables like the air-chilled boneless chicken breast, burgers, jumbo franks, and many more favorites. Plus, don't forget to leave room for dessert, because most gift packages come with 4 delicious caramel apple tartlets. I've been doing Omaha Steaks for Father's Day since the beginning of time, since the beginning of the podcast. Omaha Steaks has always hooked me and every other dad up with their steaks because they give the gift of the world's best beef. Not only are their steaks naturally aged for ultimate tenderness, juiciness, and flavor, but Omaha Steaks is in 5 generations of family-owned expertise. That means uncompromising quality that you can trust. So this Father's Day, show him you love him with the only gift that's as unforgettable as he is, the mouth-watering perfection of Omaha Steaks. From perfectly aged, oh-so-tender steaks to hand-selected gift packages, Omaha Steaks makes it easy to give Dad what he really wants. Order today and get $30 off with promo code KFC. And every purchase is backed by their unconditional 100% money-back guarantee. Minimum order may be required. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com. Promo code KFC to get $30 off your package today.
So you're not sure about the new?
About the.
I mean,
Like-
I if I'm him, you gotta go get another job. You gotta leave.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. There is no way. There's no way someone will like
I guess that
work
that
with him
is,
again
like-
in earnest. Like he might be able
Well,
to find
we thought that
another.
about other people.
I guess things are so siloed off that it's like he, and people are just about like getting their numbers, and if they. But again, that's what I mean. Like if he was a super talent, like yeah, but I don't know if he's enough of a level to, you're gonna alienate yourself from these guys and anybody else who's on their side. You're gonna throw yourself into that fire. You better fucking have a great ass show,
Yeah.
and I don't think that's really gonna be the case. You know what I mean? And I also just think from like a personal point of view, it's just like, people talking about you and gossip and I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be because I was pretty cordial with him even when he came back from Arizona, and then now I don't know how it's going to be when I see him. I really don't.
Yeah.
Do you expect
There's
to
been,
anytime soon?
I think we already asked this, but there's been no communication whatsoever.
No, zero. At least for me, and definitely for the other two because I would be the one if anything. So, there's been zero, and I don't know what happens, man. I really don't.
I guess
know
I
what happens.
probably. I'm thinking about it, like. I guess I probably would. I'd probably just be like, I'm just gonna go.
Totally.
It speaks volume to that you're so disconnected, but you're still comfortable saying all this because you guys even here it's traveled like how it was.
Totally.
You know, and like you guys may
It was
have
one of the
seen-
worst kept secrets
Yeah.
from, within house.
Yeah, and like you
Kevin
guys have seen
Spacey.
someone, there's people in New York who have felt that fucking thunder.
Yep.
And it's like it's not. Yeah,
I've been out with people, and been like, he's coming. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like
talking about it like
was-
fucking Wyatt Earp. Like, tell him I'm coming. Hell's coming with me.
Right.
Like, what do you mean?
It changed the vibe dramatically. So,
yeah.
all right. Well, I do think you guys handled it as respectfully as possible. I don't know whether it's good, bad, if it was right or wrong, the best way to handle it or not. I think time will tell. I think it's certainly the most the nicest way to handle it.
Yeah, if we're real.
I do think sometimes people deserve to be like aired the fuck out.
Yeah, and like,
he probably did.
He probably does.
Right.
Yeah.
But the fact that
does.
you guys are not, I think, speaks volumes to the way you guys do things. And it's kind of, if you believe in what goes around comes around and karma and all that shit, that like, I don't know, hopefully good things come back to you that way for handling it the right way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree with all of that. And I don't know if this is something you guys track or care about. Like, what has the feedback been for like how you handled it?
Honestly, I don't. I like read my mention. I don't really read around anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I actually talked to you about reading around. I think I talked to you last summer.
If I could snap my fingers and have one thing happen at this company, it would be for everybody to stop reading Reddit, to stop reading.
It's amazing how like different it is once you stop reading.
You will be a different employee. You'll be a different human. You will make more money. You will be.
And it's so. It's not like it's not like getting healthy. Like, it doesn't take.
It's instant.
3 days. Like,
Instant.
Like 3 days, you're dry. You're like, oh.
But it also is
my
like
brain works
it
so
kind of
different
is
now.
like a addiction in the sense of like you're not going to stop until you're really ready.
Yeah.
You can be like, okay, I'm going to stop reading comments. I'm going to stop going to the Reddit page. I'm going to stop reading Twitter.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm not reading.
Yeah,
Yeah, you won't stop. You're right.
The day you're like, this is harming me and I don't want to do it anymore. You stop and you're
Yeah.
like, why did I ever do that? It's like a breakup where you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, I dated that person? Are you fucking kidding me?
The day you're fed up, you're just like, I just can't. I'm out. You know what I mean? So that's why I remember talking to you about that. And you talk around people who, and who really is true about it, who's not. But I truthfully haven't seen any either. I've just seen my mentions.
Yeah,
that's it. And
I even went cold on that, which I don't think that made much of a change. Maybe a little bit.
That made a difference for me.
It is.
I got rid of my I gave up my password. I started a new Twitter that's a burner that I don't tweet from and I don't have mentions, but I still use it for like a timeline.
Oh, no
but
shit.
I don't get any incoming mentions, and it's just beautiful.
It just skews how you look at something. Where you can put out something. I've talked about this ad nauseum, so I don't want to do a whole thing on it. But just like when we first put out
Out of order.
I was like, I like this, and I don't like if the first response is fuck this, it sucks.
And that could just be some asshole that didn't even watch it.
That will just
but-
fuck with my
Yeah,
brain.
yeah.
And
He
that's
said
like,
it so. He was just like, when I film these, everyone in the room that I respect and know is funny and trust if they think things are funny, all of them are laughing.
Yeah.
Then I did it like that, and that's who should matter.
You're right. And I saw
Why
you.
are you going to listen to the 10 jamokes on Twitter who might be talking shit when the funniest people on the internet are in the room right now and they're all laughing?
Yeah. No, and I think I've seen Louis say it on a podcast where he's just like, at the end, it's just a bunch of guys trying to make their buddies laugh. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, it's
totally.
really like if I was like, fuck Nick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if that's in text and that's like on a
Totally.
comment, Nick's like, damn, I fucking bust my ass for KFC.
Yeah,
Radio. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Absolutely,
like that
man.
hurt. But it's just,
Absolutely.
it's such a throwaway. Like, fuck Nick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You really got to, if you do read and consume, you got to keep it through that lens of like, everybody's just fucking around. You
Yeah.
can't be the sensitive one either, you know?
For sure, for sure.
Or just acknowledge that you probably might be sensitive every now and then because you're human.
For
Don't
sure.
fucking do it.
Yeah.
Because I was not to be like a fucking overly sensitive pussy, but like I was pretty bummed with the reaction when the Portnoy show ended, and it was just like, it was a show where it was started because it was necessary, and look at it now without it, it's like. It's fucking chaos. You know what I mean? Like there's
We
no
tried to
place
pick
to
up the
address
slack
like,
to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
And
But it's not the
obviously
same
not
without
the same.
Dave.
Yeah,
you guys know
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and it's just not.
But you know what? That was also a lot of the way Dave ended it. His like the Team Portnoy minions kind of take
Yeah,
the leader,
yeah.
the leader's like vibe, and he was like, "I don't need this. We don't need this," and they were just like, "Okay, sounds good."
Yeah.
Whereas like, there's a lot of people who fucking still want that show for sure.
For sure. And it was the thing. That's the thing is when like the idea for starting it was like, man, Dave, the series is over. Dave just had the craziest summer of his life. I was like, he should be talking somewhere, even if it's for an hour a week, And the stoolie in me like took over. And I was like, we need like this is Barstool needs this. Are you crazy? We need to hear Dave going nuts on this guy or that guy.
The hero that Gotham needs.
Yeah, exactly. Like we like it's really needed, and then it's like when it ends, everyone's like, "Oh, that's fuck, it's your." And it's like, Jesus, dude. That was like an extra thing. I still got my two other know what I mean?
I was doing that like for you guys.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that was
yeah. Well,
not to-
no good deed goes unpunished, sort of thing. So
Yeah, not to sound like a fucking humanitarian for doing a show with Dave Portnoy. But you get my point where it was like, that was kind of just something that was necessary. And I think now people really.
That was my favorite thing when Eddie won Barstool Survivor based on like being the everyman who like, he deserves this win because he didn't have a big win at Barstool, and then after the fact, everyone who was on Survivor was like, Eddie has a show with Dave. Eddie's like Dave's right-hand man. Eddie's on private jets. Like, what's going on? And then you played it right.
I forget what I was going to say.
Well, we got to wrap it up anyway because I want to try to get Kirk in here. So, I mean, I think you handled it well, man. I think that was a true sign of leadership and a true sign of just like being a fucking compassionate human who's left on the internet, because there's not many of those. So I hope it comes back around in the form of more views and more content and people respecting you guys in Chicago and what you've done, and I hope people remember and still continue with you guys as like the Chicago dudes, because you're the most authentic Chicago experience and the shit that you did a good job building that. I hope it continues there.
I appreciate it, man. I really took a lot of pride of being a Chicago guy.
Yeah.
And I hope it continues. I hope it's kind of seen that way and it shines through even with the whole cast of characters, because it's my city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So that's just kind of.
I'll see you in the garage, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
See you in the
And
garage.
to answer your question, Brandon Walker, he's a dick.
That was perfect.
Thank you very much, brother.
All right, big thanks for watching. If you made it through this whole episode, that means you should be subscribed. There's so many of you out there who watch and don't subscribe, so make sure you are a KFC Radio subscriber. Make sure you get all the content when it drops. Click that button now.
I have 9 fingers. I'm still subscribed. It's that easy.